Please move over, Mom, and open your luggage. The TSA agent's voice was loud enough to call attention to the woman and blatantly suspicious. No makeup, travel is in doubt. Wearing a hoodie, dark glasses, and an oversized carry-on, she nodded silently. She was possibly in her 40s, calm and unfazed by the eyes turning toward her. She put the bag on the table. The agent then carelessly unzipped it and started searching through it as if it contained contraband. A pair of socks flew out, a book fell face down, and then without thinking, he turned the bag upside down and threw everything onto the inspection tray. A collective gasp followed as a black leather wallet with the Central Intelligence Agency's seal slid out from among the clothing and personal belongings. When the agent stopped in mid-motion, a nearby person remarked, "Wait, is that real?" "That's the intelligence crest," said another agent, leaning forward. She said, "Nothing." She carefully grabbed for the wallet, opened it, and discovered an ID, a badge, and a level of clearance that most people had only heard about in movies. The TSA agent remarked in a cool, forceful, and chillingly professional tone, "I didn't know you weren't supposed to." Even the officer who had been called for additional screening stopped when he saw the badge backstory, which disclosed that her name was Elise Monroe and that she had worked in the shadowiest nooks of intelligence, surveillance, infiltration, and psychological operations for 22 years. The room, the noise, and the background buzz of the airport all caused people to slow down and back away. She had created identities, taken down arms dealers, and exposed traitors, but after 10 years of fieldwork she vanished without anyone knowing where she had gone. Rumors circulated that she had been sent to Moscow under covert circumstances or taken out in a covert operation, but in reality she retired quietly and honorably, trading adrenaline for solitude. This was her first flight in years, just a straightforward trip until her past followed her to the TSA line as the agents gathered themselves, and the head of security hurried over to Ms. Monroe's mother. "We sincerely apologize for this significant misunderstanding." She arched an eyebrow and remarked, "Next time, looking at the badge numbers of each humiliated agent, look a little deeper before assuming." She was measuring a civilian's suitcase, because she didn't look the part, and she wasn't upset. "Were you really CIA?" a young female agent asked, clearly disturbed. Elise stated, "I am CIA, but that doesn't stop because the mission ends." There were gasps after phones were raised, but no one dared to film because this wasn't a scandal. This was significant because, in some circles, a man in a gray suit standing close to the window leaned to his companion and remarked, "I think that's the operative who flipped the Jakarta case." People in the crowd began to recognize her, not from news reports, but rather from the debriefing manuals and whispers. "Will you allow us to escort you directly to the gate?" the security chief asked in an attempt to get you to calm down. She gave him a quick glance and said, "I can walk just fine." In a startling turn of events, she turned around and picked up the clothes that were all over the tray, folded them, put them back in their places, repacked the bag, and left the badge on top, visible as she zipped it. She then stopped to say, loud enough for everyone in the room to hear, "Don't ever let a uniform tell you your value." The TSA agent who dumped her bag bowed his head and said, "I'm sorry, Agent Monroe." She looked at him, not in anger, but rather with the expression of someone who had witnessed far worse, deeper breaches of trust. "Don't apologize to me," she said, "learn from it." She turned and walked calmly toward her gate, luggage in hand, head high, with a room full of people watching her in awe not because she displayed power, but because she carried it without having to prove it. Respect is not about appearances. Rather, it's about the quiet weight of truth that no one notices until it demands to be acknowledged. If this tale resonated with you, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a karma remark below.